Valerii Kravchuk, great job. Thank you. You're today joining us from Vyshgorod, close to Kiev in the Ukraine, are you?
Hi. I'm really sorry that my camera is making problems for all of us again, but I hope sound works this time.
Sound works very much, so that's great. Yesterday in Paris, we had to use two proxies for you. First, we changed to Trovario and then Monty. How did they do?
Well, they did well. I think they had fun, and I hope viewers had fun, and they've got some insights on how things are done inside MariaDB.
So what do you think of the format of all of this with hot backups and with the pre-recording thing and all of this?
Well, based on my example, we see that pre-recording was a great idea, because if it fails alive during my session in the middle as it happened, that would be a disaster. So you would end up only with slides and maybe chat. This way you have a talk. Maybe it's not the ideal presentation, but it's the best I think we had seen so far.
It was a graceful degradation, I think, and it saved a lot of our heart and pulse and all of that. It was great for health purposes as well, I can tell you.
I can imagine. It helped me too, really. Otherwise, it would be a really bad failure.
So going now to your troubleshooting, not videos and the presentations, but troubleshooting MariaDB and the new features related to troubleshooting. What are your favorite ones among those?
Well, I would name two. One is obvious because I spent a lot of time during the presentation on it. It's memory instrumentation through performance schema. I was waiting for it for years because the alternative ways to trace memory leaks or potential memory leaks in production are either hardly applicable in general, like any heap profilers that slow down things a lot, or maybe also with bad performance impact, but also hard to implement, like any kind of dynamic tracing of memory allocations, non-trivial ones, would be really non-trivial to implement. So you can use some pre-built tools, you can add probes, and I did that. But just running a set of SQL queries for the data that are always there as soon as you enable performance schema, that's great addition. It's still work in progress because, as I mentioned, there are some obvious bugs in the implementation, but overall, based on MySQL experience with this feature as well, it proved quite useful. And another thing is very MariaDB specific, and it happened and added to 10.5 exactly based on the previous experience with attempts to solve real-life problems. It's additional 4 tables in the information schema that Vladislav Weintraub added to present some internal workings of the thread pool. That is both unique, quite useful, and was really hard to troubleshoot in one specific case until we got down to the stack traces in hanging situation. Now we have an option to find out what's going on inside the thread pool, again with simple SQL queries. I am yet to see this applied to real-life situation, because in most cases thread pool just works, you know. So it rarely happens, but it's a great addition, and I am going to test it more and blog about it in details. So it was just a slide in presentation, but the feature is really great. So that's our 2 main features from my point of view.
Cool. So I was trying to ask yesterday also from Vincenzo, but he's not exposed to this. You are. So do you have any war stories from how these features have saved you, saving the issues at client cases? And you have about 40 seconds to give a short war story if you have one on store.
Well, so far performance schema, unfortunately, that's true, and I mentioned it, had presented some insights, but they were mostly trivial, unfortunately. In complicated cases, I had to apply dynamic tracing techniques and perf profiler. And that's what my next talk is about.
Yes.
So we have more hopes now with more advanced performance schema in MariaDB, but so far real war stories lead me to dynamic tracing on Linux.
So, and that's, as you said, your next presentation. Very much looking forward to it. I saw a pre-version of it, so let's listen to you for another hour and then get back to some further follow-up questions. But thank you so far, Valerii Kravchuk.
Thank you for help.